What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have got
It's not about you.
Jeff going around and doing stuff. He's like, this isn't your video, this is my video. But yeah, we got a good one for you today. Jeff and I are both competing in a bracket style tournament of kayak fishing builds. It's called the Yak Offs. Hilarious name. This is all hosted by Kayak Angler Magazine, which is pretty freaking rad. So basically what they do is they say, hey, we need 16 people who have built out some cool kayaks or can, and then we're gonna have you build one out, submit it, give us all this media, and then we're gonna go head to head until we find who is the champion. Now, Jake Suvak with his Vibe Shearwater won the inaugural, the first one. We saw that and we were like, that is a great build. Can we do better? Let's find out. So Jeff and I are both involved. This is the kayak that I'm going to be submitting for the Yak Offs round 2. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a front to back walkthrough of my Crescent Smallie. So the whole idea of this build, before I walk you through it, I just wanna give you an idea of the concept, because I feel like this concept is something that a lot of people never even thought of. And until you hear the idea of it, you're like, you didn't even know you needed it. So the whole idea of this build is simple, modular, lightweight. I need a kayak that can do everything that I want it to do, and it does everything pretty darn well. So that is this Crescent Smallie. So what I've done here is I've said, I'm not gonna have 2 motors. I wanna have full capability, but I do not wanna have 2 motors. So we went with the Garmin Force Current, and this motor is pretty unique because it does both things really well. It does spot lock, it has Garmin's version of spot lock built in, but it's a stern mount motor, as you'll notice, and it propels you pretty freaking fast. And what's cool about this motor, it can take 2 types of batteries. You can get a little more power with the 24 volt, or it can also utilize a 12 volt. So all in one package. Another amazing thing about this motor, everything is wireless. So the foot pedals up front that actually control this are wireless, which is amazing. Another wireless feature is your safety tether. So if I fall out, there is a man overboard MOB tether attached to you. It actually comes with watch straps, which is pretty freaking cool. But this is also wireless. So there's basically a geofence on this. As soon as the motor gets so far away from this, it cuts the motor for you. So really cool seeing all that wireless technology. Keeps things, again, simple. It means I can remove it with 2 tiny screws and 1 plug. The motor comes off for when I want to go in the river. So clean, effective, and just very, very simple. Another thing we really liked about this, just to keep things simple, was the flush mount connection. So there's actually a wire from this connection that goes all the way to the front. We'll show you that when we get in there, but that allows you to, when I want to take this motor off, it's a very simple and I'm free. The motor can come right off, no big deal. Again, keeping this simple, and then when it's not in use, it's got a waterproof cover, no water getting on the inside. Again, just simple and effective is what we're going for. Same thing with the rest of the electronics. You wanna come over here, instead of a full electronic setup with a transducer, extra battery, a whole bunch of other stuff, what we have here is the Deeper sonar. Now this is the new Deeper Max. Now what makes the Deeper Max so unique is that, one, it has a longer range on it, and it does 3D mapping. Now this wirelessly goes right over to your cell phone. So instead of a screen, all I have is probably the simplest setup possible. We have this Yakpower wireless phone charging phone holder, and when I want to take it off and I don't need it, it just comes right off like that. Super simple and clean. But when I am using it, all I have to do is put this in. You can see it's already powered up. Just put my phone on the inside, and it goes ahead and sinks in. Now, I try to make this as modular as possible. All we have is one Nocqua 20 amp hour battery. That's enough to power my phone, no problem, all day. With like 6 or 8 hours of fishing full-time use, my battery will go down by about 25%, and that's it. That's full-time use. So again, simple, modular, and effective. Battery tucks away, and you can barely even see the freaking thing. And then when you want it gone, one little button comes out and see you later, no problem. Now another cool thing I did is the underseat decking, the storage under here, actually was just naked plastic. So what I did is I went out and bought some decking from Amazon, and I just glued it. I put it here and here because I do tend to use this for, measuring fish, and so I wanted that to be quiet, but I also put it underneath. Again, when I've got plastics and stuff under here, or heaven forbid, my entire terminal box, we can keep things quiet, and I think it just looked pretty cool too. Well, let's step back real quick and talk about the crate for a second. I went with the 13 by 13 black pack. I do not have the top portion on there because I do not need that much storage in this kayak. We're keeping it simple. I'm not bringing a lot of boxes. I have all my plastics under the seat, and I have 2 boxes right here. I can bring up to 3 or 4 or more if I need to, but look, got my spinner baits, no problem. Got my jigs, no problem. Got my day box. I am good to go. That is all I need. If I bring more stuff than that, I am in trouble. I will just waste all my time sifting through baits, so I'm trying to keep things simple. Main storage right here is going to be the Yak Gadget rear seat. So I've got water, snacks, I've got my scale in case I catch my fish of a lifetime. And then you got to have in here, no question, the de-hooker tool for when I inevitably hook myself on probably a big toothy critter. And then right here, you've got a simple zipper pocket, and this is where I keep my line. So I keep, depending on the size, 3 spools is typically what I have in there, but again, that's all that I need. I don't need more than that. Moving to the front, this is where things get super fun. So a lot of times I'm gonna be fishing the river. This is a river fishing vessel. This is kind of what it does best, is paddling in the river. So we had to have our anchor wizard mounted to the front with our chain set up here. All you gotta do is turn this to the left, chain deploys and doesn't break your rod. See you, buddy. And then when you wanna bring it up, you just crank her up, and you're done. Again, this keeps you facing the direction you want. And when you don't want this, unclip the chains and this comes right off. It takes about 30 seconds. Now let's check the front hatch. This is where some of the magic is happening. So all the extra storage that you need for things like your lights, right? When you are, if you're in a tournament or if you're fishing at night, you gotta have your white light. I keep that in here. Keep my emergency kit in here, sunscreen, whatever you want. All that can live in the Yakattack bag. And then we've got our 24 volt, 50 amp hour battery, more than enough power for this little boat to get to power the Garmin. And we also have another quick connect. So when I charge this battery, it's a quick undo, and then this battery just comes right out, especially if I'm paddling. Obviously, I'm not gonna be carrying all that extra weight. And then boom, you're clipped back in. Now the zip tie is nice because it keeps the power cable exactly where I want it, and it makes sure that the cable doesn't slide to the back when not in use. Again, just trying to keep things nice and clean. Now there is a fuse, a breaker back here, and it's hiding right there on the side. Double-sided Velcro, just glue it to the hull. Again, simple, effective, nothing you don't need. I love this setup right here. This is powering the Yakpower nav lights, and I actually do have a couple of pretty cool work lights here hiding in the back. You can kind of see one hiding right here on the inside, right there, and I've got another one on the other side. So I've got a Nocqua power switch and a regulator. All you gotta do, you push this little button, both your nav lights are on, and so are your working lights underneath the seat. They look cool, and they just help you out and give you a little extra light if you happen to be night fishing. And again, simple and effective. When this wants to come out, all I have to do is unvelcro this, unplug the battery, the whole operation comes out. There's not much to this kayak, but when you really take a look and you go front to back, it has every single thing that you need. You have everything from spot lock to 3D mapping, and then you can have none of it in about less than 10 minutes. You can strip all this out, and you have a very capable paddle river fishing machine. So gonna be a ton of fun. Can't wait to put time on the water, catch some freaking fish, and have some freaking fun. I did.
Okay, we going?
Yeah. Adrenaline is running. Dang, he hammered that. Juvie craw, grr. Nice Smallie, healthy freaking fish. Happy about that. Let's get our photo here. is always tricky going across current. If you get turned, you're in trouble. It's not fun, and it's dangerous. It's how you flip. So what you want to do is you want to just try and stay upright, continue paddling consistently, keep your nose tilted at a 45 degree to the shore, and that will keep you moving. So all you really want to be is moving in the right direction. There we go. Sketchier than it looks, 100%. Going 3.5, little over. Freaking wild. I can go 5.5 without the current. Insane. That's fish. That's fish. There we go. Come here, you.